Jaguar Wright has done it again, and this time she's not just stirring drama in the music industry. She's blowing the lid off something far darker. In a late-night Instagram Live that's already being called the most dangerous broadcast of her career, Jaguar claimed she has receipts, real documented evidence exposing the shocking secrets of Charlie Kirk's widow, the woman whose silence has haunted the internet for months. And according to Jaguar, these aren't just casual rumors or whispers from the shadows. She says she has emails, voice memos, and photographs that directly tie Charlie's widow to a web of deception, hidden money, and powerful figures desperate to keep her quiet. They thought nobody would come for her, Jaguar said, eyes blazing into the camera. But I've seen what's on those drives. And if I show it, everything burns. The live was chaotic, emotional, and impossible to look away from. Viewers described it as a mix between a confessional, an expose, and a digital meltdown. Thousands watched in real time as Jaguar accused high-profile political insiders, media executives, and a certain tech mogul of helping bury the truth about Charlie's final days. And the scariest part, just as Jaguar started to scroll through the alleged receipts, the feed froze, flickered, and went black. Was it a glitch? A hack? Or someone pulling the plug before she revealed too much? Because if Jaguar's claims are true, Charlie Kirk's widow isn't just hiding secrets. She is the secret. Jaguar Wright has never been afraid of chaos. For years, she's been the storm that the entertainment industry couldn't contain, a singer-turnout whistleblower, a voice that drips truth like poison into the digital bloodstream. She's taken on record labels, moguls, and musicians who once seemed untouchable. But this time, it's different. This time, Jaguar isn't talking about the music world. She's gone somewhere no one expected, the political underworld. When she first mentioned Charlie Kirk's name months ago, fans brushed it off as another one of her fiery tangents. After all, Jaguar's live streams were infamous, unpredictable, emotional, full of unfiltered rage. But there was something about this story that made her sound different, colder, sharper. And when she dropped that one sentence, "I got the widow's files," even her critics went silent to understand how we got here. You have to understand who Jaguar Wright is and why her voice, no matter how controversial, carries weight. She was once the soul of Philadelphia's neo-soul scene, touring with the Roots, standing shoulder-to-shoulder with artists like Common and Jay-Z. But in the years that followed, she transformed into something else. Part survivor, part truth-teller, part unrelenting storm against corruption in every form. For the past 3 years, Jaguar's been claiming she's received leaked data from insiders across industries, some of it wild, some of it scarily accurate. So when she said she'd gotten the widow's receipts, nobody knew what to believe. But they listened. Because history has shown that when Jaguar Wright starts talking, a powerful starts sweating. Charlie Kirk's death, mysterious from the start, had already spawned hundreds of theories. But most were political, procedural, or surface level. Nobody dared touch the personal side of it, the marriage, the money, the nights before it happened. That's what made Jaguar's claims so nuclear. She wasn't talking about policy. She was talking about the widow. And according to her, the truth wasn't just messy. It was lethal. In her live stream, Jaguar explained how she came across the information. "It started," she said, "with a message from a source inside the machine, someone who had access to encrypted correspondence between Charlie's widow and multiple political and financial figures. At first, Jaguar thought it was a scam. But when she saw the names attached to the messages, familiar ones, names connected to media outlets, politicians, and even Silicon Valley donors, she froze. That's when I knew it was real," she said. "That's when I knew I wasn't supposed to have it." The receipts, according to her, included transaction screenshots, emails with subject lines like damage control plan, and one audio file simply titled dinner_confession.mp3. Single quotes. She said the messages revealed that after Charlie's death, a quiet operation was launched, not to mourn him, but to erase him. His accounts, his files, his private communications all systematically deleted or locked behind NDAs. And at the center of those deletions, Jaguar claimed, was one name repeated again and again. His widow. She wasn't crying, Jaguar said during the live stream. She was signing. Signing papers, signing transfers, signing silence. For nearly an hour, Jaguar talked nonstop, tears mixing with fury as she described how she'd been warned to stay out of political business. But instead, she dug deeper. She reached out to journalists, tech analysts, even ex-security contractors, anyone who could help verify the data. Some ignored her. Others, she claimed, were scared to even open the files, but a few did. And according to Jaguar, what they found was bigger than a widow protecting her husband's legacy. It was a full-blown operation to divert millions. Silence staff and scrub timelines. She didn't lose her husband, Jaguar said. She inherited his machine. The comment section was chaos. Some people begged Jaguar to stop for her own safety. Others accused her of lying, manipulating grief for views. But then, at 42 minutes into the live stream, Jaguar pulled out her phone and held it to the camera. The screen showed an email thread, blurred except for the subject line, "Archive Charlie K accounts, post-transfer logs," and a name. Kirk. That one blurry screenshot set the internet ablaze. Within minutes, conspiracy forums and Reddit threads were flooded with speculation. Who had sent her that email? How did she get it? And most importantly, why was Charlie's widow still moving money from dormant accounts? To make matters worse, Jaguar hinted that she wasn't the first person to try to expose it. She claimed that another whistleblower, someone she referred to only as the Shadow Tech, had been trying to leak similar evidence months earlier, but had vanished after handing over the wrong drive. Then, she said something that made the hair on viewers' necks stand up. "They think I just talk loud. They don't realize I don't scare easy." From that point on, Jaguar became the center of a storm far bigger than she could have imagined. Her name was trending. People were dissecting her past videos, looking for hidden clues. Journalists began reaching out, not to debunk her, but to interview her. Everyone wanted to know the same thing. Did Jaguar Wright really have the receipts that could expose Charlie Kirk's widow once and for all? In the days following the live stream, strange things began happening. Her old videos started disappearing from YouTube. Her Instagram account was flagged for unusual activity, and her backup pages, which she claimed were run by friends, began posting cryptic messages like they're trying to silence her and copy everything before it's gone. And now, the story had evolved beyond one woman with a phone. It had become a digital revolution, a raw emotional collision between truth, paranoia, and the hunger for justice. But what no one expected was that Jaguar wasn't done yet. The live stream that went black that night wasn't the end. It was the beginning, because 48 hours later, Jaguar Wright went live again, this time from an undisclosed location, holding what she called the final piece. And the moment she played it, the internet lost its mind. The next live stream was different. Gone were the bright lights, the loud background music, and Jaguar Wright's usual chaotic commentary. The screen opened to darkness, a faint hum of static, and her voice quiet, calm, almost whispering. "I wasn't going to post this," she said, "but they won't stop coming for me. So now, everybody's gonna hear it." Within minutes, tens of thousands had tuned in. It felt less like a show and more like a confession, a digital seance for the truth. Jaguar's tone was measured, almost eerie. "This recording," she said slowly, "wasn't supposed to exist. It's from a dinner meeting, private. Off record, no press, no cameras, just Charlie, his widow, and 2 others. But somebody in that room was recording, and that somebody wanted me to have it. She held up her phone to the camera, thumb hovering over the play button. You're about to hear something that'll make you rethink everything they told you. Then she pressed it. The audio was grainy, but clear enough to send shivers down the spine. You could hear clinking glasses, laughter, polite, rehearsed laughter, before a male voice, unmistakably Charlie's, cut through. I don't want to keep lying about this. We need to come clean before it gets worse. A woman's voice, smooth, poised, cold. There's nothing to come clean about. It's already handled. You signed the papers, remember? You signed the papers, remember? Charlie's voice again, frustrated this time. I didn't sign anything. You did. Silence. Then a low chuckle from someone else at the table. A man, unfamiliar. You're in too deep, Charlie. Just let it die. At that point, the audio cut to static. The chat section exploded. What was that? Who was the other man? Play IT again. Jaguar did. Over and over. Each time, viewers swore they caught something new. A whisper, a name, a location. But what hit hardest was Charlie's tone. It wasn't political, it wasn't scripted, it was fear. The kind of fear that comes from realizing you're surrounded by people you can't trust. Then, Jaguar dropped the first bombshell of the night. You heard that last voice? That wasn't just anyone. That was Ryan Hensley, the same financial strategist who handled Charlie's personal assets. The same man who disappeared 2 days after the funeral. Gasps flooded the comments. Hensley's name had barely been mentioned since Charlie's death. According to official reports, he'd taken an indefinite leave of absence and moved overseas. But Jaguar wasn't buying it. He didn't move anywhere, she said, her eyes burning into the screen. He vanished, because he knew too much. And so did she. She then scrolled through her phone, pulling up a blurry photo. It showed a woman, allegedly Charlie's widow, sitting beside Hensley at an upscale restaurant. The timestamp. 2 days after the supposed date of Charlie's death. You see that? Jaguar said. She wasn't grieving. She was meeting. Within minutes, screenshots of that image flooded social media. Hashtag the dinner pic trended globally. Fans began analyzing every pixel, every shadow, every reflection in the wine glass. Was it really her? Was it real? Or was Jaguar playing into the chaos? Before anyone could answer, Jaguar pulled out another card, the emails. I wasn't gonna do this, she said, her voice cracking slightly. But since they're threatening me now, I'm releasing it. She read from one email allegedly sent from an encrypted account under the initials EK, transfer confirmed. Media team on standby. Handle messaging before Tuesday. Keep quiet about the call. Jaguar paused, eyes narrowing. You know what that Tuesday was? The day after the funeral, viewers went wild. Even those who had dismissed Jaguar as unstable were now glued to the stream, their disbelief crumbling. And then came the real shocker. She scrolled to a second message. This one sent a week later, subject line, cleanup progress. It read, all devices secure. Photos deleted. Legal handled. Pending deposit once silence is confirmed. That, Jaguar said, tapping her screen, is how you erase a man. But what happened next flipped everything upside down. As Jaguar began reading another email, her screen froze mid-sentence. Her eyes darted off camera. Hold on, she whispered. What the? Then the audio cut. A loud thud echoed from somewhere behind her. The feed went black. For 5 long minutes, the live stream stayed dark. Viewers panicked. Comments poured in. Jaguar? Are you okay? What's happening? When the stream finally returned, Jaguar was gone. Instead, a pre-recorded message began to play, something she had clearly prepared in advance. If this goes dark, her voice said, That means they found me. Don't panic. I left everything with 3 people. If I don't check in within 24 hours, they'll post the rest. And when you see it, don't let them spin it. Don't let them say I was crazy. Because the proof is real. Then, one final line. It's not about money. It's about what Charlie found before he died. The video ended abruptly. That one sentence became the new obsession. What did Charlie find? Forums erupted with theories, secret accounts, classified emails, illegal campaign donations. But one Reddit user, claiming to be a former Turning Point contractor, posted something chilling. He found a recording, something from the night before he died. That's why they shut everything down. Screenshots of that comment spread like wildfire. People started speculating that the dinner_confession.mp3 wasn't the only file Jaguar had. Some believed she possessed an entire hard drive, one that could expose more than just the widow's actions. Then, a mysterious Twitter account named @TheVaultLeaker appeared. Posting this message, she wasn't lying. Part 2 drops at midnight. #CharlieFiles. The tweet got over 2 million impressions before the account was suspended. But not before people screenshotted it. And noticed something disturbing in the background of its profile photo. A blurry silhouette that looked eerily like Jaguar Wright. Hours later, Jaguar reappeared. Her voice was shaky, her camera tilted. She was in a car, headlights flashing through the windows. "They cut my power," she whispered. "They were outside my door. But they're not gonna stop me." Then she dropped the first major twist. Charlie wasn't the only one being watched. She was too. His widow, they were tracking her too. And she doesn't even know who did it. The chat erupted. What did she mean? Who was watching the widow? Jaguar continued. There's another layer to this. Someone bigger than her, bigger than Charlie, pulling the strings. That dinner wasn't a meeting. It was a warning. And they all knew what was coming next. She looked straight into the lens, eyes wide. He told someone what he found. And that someone sent it to me. The screen flickered once, twice, and then went black again. That was the last anyone saw of Jaguar Wright for 48 hours in those 2 days. Her videos were deleted, her channels locked. Her Instagram wiped clean. But deep in the corners of the internet, copies of her live stream survived, and the whispers grew louder. Because if she was telling the truth, the dinner recording wasn't the end. It was only the first piece of a puzzle that could expose an entire operation built on silence, manipulation, and fear. And somewhere out there, the rest of the files, the biggest secret of all, were still waiting to be found. 48 hours after Jaguar Wright vanished, the internet was on fire. Every social platform, every podcast, every gossip page had turned into a live investigation. Fans and skeptics alike were obsessively replaying her last broadcast frame by frame, trying to spot clues in the static. Some claimed they saw movement behind her before the feed cut off, a figure in black gloves, the reflection of flashing lights. Others believed Jaguar staged the entire thing. But deep down, everyone felt it. Something real. Something raw, something terrifying was happening then. Just when the frenzy hit its peak, a new post appeared on a burner Twitter account under the name @VoiceOfJaguar. No photo, no hashtags. Just 6 words. I'm alive. And they failed tonight. Within minutes, the tweet went viral. People couldn't believe it. She was alive. After the blackout, the deleted videos, the rumors that she'd been silenced, she was back. At exactly midnight, she went live again. This time, her stream wasn't on Instagram or YouTube. It was hosted on an anonymous, encrypted platform accessible only through a dark link circulating in private chats. Within minutes, over 400,000 people were watching in real time. The feed opened, too. Jaguar sitting in what looked like a motel room, dim light. Papered walls, a Bible and a stack of folders next to her. Her eyes were tired but blazing. "They cut me off," she began. "They tried to wipe everything. But they forgot I always make copies." Then she reached for a USB drive on the table. "This," she said, holding it up, "is what they were trying to find. This is why Charlie's dead. This is what the widow's been protecting." The chat exploded. "Play IT." "What's on IT? Is this the file?" Jaguar didn't speak for a few seconds. Her hands trembled. Then she said something that made everyone's stomach drop. "Before I play this, need to know this isn't just about money. It's about control. It's about the kind of secrets that kill careers, kill reputations, kill people." She clicked play. The video on her screen was blurry at first, an indoor office. Faint fluorescent light. Someone filming through a cracked door. You could hear two voices. One was a man, calm, professional. The other, unmistakably Alina Kirk, Charlie's widow. "We can't just delete it," the man said. "If someone finds the recording, it'll blow everything open. Then we make it disappear," Alina replied. "We have the resources. The Foundation can absorb the accounts. You handle the cleanup." Jaguar paused the video, staring directly into the camera. "That man," she said, "is the same Ryan Hensley from the dinner tape. The one who vanished." The live chat went ballistic. "He's alive. Where is he?" "This is insane." Jaguar played more. "And what about the others?" Hensley asked. "They'll get their share," Alina replied coldly. "As long as no one talks." Then a sound, a door opening, footsteps, and Charlie's voice entering the room. "What's going on?" Static. Silence. Then the video cut out. Jaguar leaned forward, whispering that was the moment he walked in on them. "That's what they didn't want you to see." She explained that the clip came from a recovered hard drive, one allegedly sent to her anonymously by someone who used to work for the widow. According to Jaguar, this insider had been part of a crisis team formed immediately after Charlie's death to handle his estate, his finances, and any potential leaks. His finances and any potential leaks. The USB Jaguar claimed contained thousands of files, including bank transfers, NDA contracts, and something labeled Project Mercury. She didn't reveal what that meant yet, but her tone changed when she said it. "If you thought this was just about greed, you're wrong," she said. "Project Mercury is the end game." Before she could explain further, her chat began glitching. The live feed flickered, then displayed a strange message overlay. "Stream interrupted by unknown source." Viewers panicked, thinking it was happening again, that someone was cutting her off. But then the feed returned. Jaguar was laughing, almost hysterically. "They think I didn't learn from last time," she said, holding up another phone. "Back upstream, baby. We're still rolling." And then came the real shocker. She dropped the name of the anonymous whistleblower who had sent her the files. "You want to know who gave me all this?" She said. "It wasn't some hacker. It was someone who used to sit at her table. Someone who used to call her boss." She paused, savoring the suspense. "His name is Adrian Pike, head of security for the Foundation. He was her fixer." Screenshots of the name spread instantly. Within minutes, people were searching public records, LinkedIn profiles, any trace of Adrian Pike. And then someone found him. A quiet, unassuming security consultant from Phoenix, Arizona, with years of experience in corporate asset protection. His social media. Wiped clean. Jaguar showed an email on her phone, supposedly from Pike himself. "I'm taking a risk sending this. But what she's doing with those funds? It's not legal. Check Project Mercury. They'll try to bury you too, but the truth has to outlive us." She claimed that 3 days after that email was sent, Adrian Pike was reported missing. That revelation shattered the internet. It was no longer just about Charlie's widow. There was now a trail of disappearances. Ryan Hensley, Adrian Pike, even the mysterious shadow tech from months earlier. Every name tied to the same story, and every name gone. Jaguar looked into the lens, her eyes glassy but determined. "You see the pattern?" she said. "Every man that tried to help him, gone. Every person that tried to stop her, gone. But I'm still here." Then, with trembling fingers, she opened a folder titled Mercury_Docs. Inside were encrypted documents with file names like funding transfers, asset shift final, and one that made everyone's heart stop. CK_record_final.mov. Jaguar didn't play it. She just smiled a cold, knowing smile and said, "This is the one they killed him over, and the one she'd do anything to keep buried." The chat went insane. Play IT now. Drop it online. Back IT up. Jaguar looked terrified. "I can't drop this one here," she said quietly. "It's too dangerous. If I upload this, it'll burn everything. Careers, companies, even people in power. I'm not even sure I'll make it through the night if I do." But then, she added one last, haunting promise. "I'm not the only one with it. There are 3 copies, one with me, one overseas, and one scheduled to auto-upload at sunrise if I disappear again." That was the moment the chat lost its mind. Tens of thousands of comments flew by, some cheering her bravery, others begging her to stop before it was too late. And as the livestream neared its end, Jaguar suddenly looked past the camera, her face changing from anger to dread. "Someone's at the door," she whispered. The screen went black. 5 minutes later, her Twitter account posted a single sentence: "They're too late. It's already in motion." The internet erupted. Was that Jaguar? Was it automated? Was this the moment Project Mercury went live? Then, across every major platform, one mysterious video began to appear, auto-uploaded under anonymous channels. The title, CK_record_final.mov, but before anyone could open it, the files vanished. Every copy, every re-upload, every link gone. And just like that, the internet realized whatever Jaguar had unleashed had been intercepted. But by who? The internet didn't sleep that night. The moment the CK_record_final.mov file vanished, panic spread like wildfire across every digital platform. It wasn't just another conspiracy theory anymore. This was live unfolding chaos in real time. 1 second, people were watching a countdown to the biggest leak of the decade. The next, every trace of that video was erased as if it had never existed. Within minutes, Twitter, Reddit, and TikTok melted down. Screenshots of error messages flooded feeds. "This file no longer exists. Access revoked. Content violation. Government request." Theories multiplied faster than they could be debunked. Some said the FBI seized the servers. Others claimed the file was absorbed into a classified government database. But the most chilling theory came from a group of online archivists who swore they'd seen the video. Before it disappeared, they described what they saw as indisputable proof that Charlie's widow had orchestrated not just one cover-up, but a network of hush-money deals involving major political donors and a private intelligence firm. It was only online for 46 seconds. And yet, those 46 seconds were enough to send the world spiraling. News networks scrambled to catch up. CNN called it a dangerous escalation of disinformation warfare. Fox News called it an explosive claim that demands investigation. MSNBC went live with breaking coverage, titled, "The Jaguar Wright Leak, Fact or Catastrophe." But even as anchors debated its authenticity, their feeds began glitching. Segments cut short mid-broadcast, reporters' earpieces going dead. On one live stream, a visibly shaken anchor whispered off camera, "They're pulling us now." That clip alone racked up 20 million views in an hour. Then came the celebrity reactions. Kanye West, who'd once collaborated with Jaguar in the early 2000s, posted a single, cryptic tweet. "They think deleting a file deletes God's plan. You can't erase the truth." It was deleted 30 minutes later, but screenshots spread instantly. Elon Musk weighed in next. Freedom of information doesn't mean freedom from consequences. #Jaguar Files fans interpreted that as a veiled warning. Accusing him of siding with the system, Cardi B, on the other hand, tweeted what everyone was thinking. If that video got wiped in less than a minute, then somebody important was scared as hell. Within hours, #somebody important was trending worldwide. Meanwhile, industry insiders started quietly panicking. A leaked Slack message from a major news agency circulated online. Reading, "Legal wants all coverage paused until confirmation from the top. Do not mention Jaguar Wright, Project Mercury, or CK Record on air." Even entertainment networks weren't immune. TMZ ran a headline calling it the scandal nobody can touch, only to delete it 10 minutes later. One of their reporters, in a now viral TikTok, claimed, "We got a cease and desist order before we even published the article." That's not normal. By mid-morning, Jaguars fans had transformed into a digital resistance movement. The hashtag #FindTheFile hit 500 million impressions. Anonymous accounts coordinated data hunts, trying to locate residual fragments of the deleted video across the dark web. One hacker collective claimed they'd recovered 14 seconds of corrupted footage showing a blurry figure in a suit shaking hands with a woman resembling Alina Kirk. "This is why they're scared," the hackers wrote. This is who she was meeting. At the same time, Jaguar's closest allies started surfacing. Her longtime friend and backup singer, known online as Nay the Truth, posted a tearful video. "Jag gave me something before she disappeared. I don't know what it is, but she told me to hold it until the world was ready." Within hours, Nay's social accounts went private. Fans feared the worst. The chaos didn't stop there. Reddit moderators of multiple conspiracy forums began resigning publicly, claiming they'd received government pressure to restrict posts mentioning Jaguar's name. One mod leaked an email chain from a major platform executive stating, "Contain narrative drift. Remove content implying coordinated censorship." That phrase, "contain narrative drift," went viral, becoming a rallying cry. Protesters even spray-painted it on buildings in downtown Chicago and Dallas. As the digital storm raged, a new player entered the chaos: the Foundation. The organization, connected to Charlie Kirk's widow, released an official statement denying any wrongdoing. The baseless allegations circulating online are the product of a malicious disinformation campaign intended to defame and destabilize. The late Mr. Kirk's family requests privacy and peace during this time. But instead of calming the situation, it poured gasoline on the fire. Comments on the Foundation's post were immediately flooded with accusations, screenshots, and fan theories. "You're only asking for peace now that Jaguar lit the match," one user wrote. Another replied, "Privacy? You mean secrecy?" Then something no one expected happened. Candace Owens, who had previously investigated Charlie Kirk's death in her own expose months prior, went live on her podcast, saying, "I'm not saying Jaguar's right, but she's not wrong either. I heard whispers about Project Mercury last year, and I was told to drop it." That statement cracked the story wide open again. Candace's live drew 14 million views in 24 hours. And for the first time, people began connecting her old investigation with Jaguar's leaks. Threads popped up titled, "Owens plus Wright equals the Hidden Alliance." Whether it was true or not didn't matter. It spread like wildfire. Didn't matter. It spread like wildfire. Meanwhile, government officials started issuing cryptic responses. The FBI's Public Affairs Office released a vague statement saying it had opened an inquiry into potential cyber breaches involving private individuals. Online watchdogs translated that as, "They're coming for Jaguar, and they might have been right." Late that evening, another anonymous message appeared in Jaguar's Telegram group. It wasn't from her verified backup account, but it carried her writing style, bold, all caps. "Emotional, the files were never meant for me alone. If you think they erased them, you don't understand who sent them." That message reignited speculation that Jaguar had allies, people inside the same networks she was exposing. Some said the whistleblowers weren't dead at all. Others whispered that they'd gone underground to prepare Phase 2. But the final blow came when someone hacked into a cloud server belonging to a major media corporation. They didn't steal files. They didn't post threats. They just changed the company's front page headline to a single sentence: "Project Mercury, release schedule confirmed." The site was restored within minutes, but it was too late. Screenshots had already circulated globally. Everyone wanted to know, was this real? Was Phase 2 about to begin? And if Jaguar Wright really did survive again, what would she dare to show next? Because now, the world wasn't just waiting for proof, it was demanding it by the next sunrise. The whole world was frozen in anticipation. Project Mercury had become a global obsession, whispered in boardrooms, tweeted in code, even shouted in protests outside government buildings. But no one actually knew what it was. The phrase had appeared in leaked emails on hacked news sites, and in Jaguar Wright's own trembling voice, yet its meaning remained a ghost. Until now, at exactly 6 a.m., a new message appeared on the same dark web forum where Jaguar's last videos had been uploaded. The post title read, "Mercury is a mirror." There was no username, no timestamp, just a single attachment, a text file. Within it, 20 lines of plain text. The first 3 words made the internet gasp. It was surveillance. The document went on to describe something terrifying. Not a scandal about money or murder, but a network of secret recordings allegedly collected over years through devices tied to Charlie Kirk's organization. They weren't just funding media, it read. They were watching it. Every influencer, journalist, and political figure connected to the Widows Foundation had allegedly been part of a massive information experiment. Phones, smart TVs, podcast microphones, all quietly collecting voice and metadata. The project's true goal wasn't control through money. It was control through knowledge. "Mercury reflects everything," the final line said, and then, attached at the bottom, a link, mercury_logs.zip. The file spread instantly. Tens of thousands of people downloaded it within minutes, but when they opened it, they didn't find names or audio. They found coordinates, hundreds of them, each one tracing back to locations across the U.S. media headquarters, political offices, private homes. That was the moment the panic started. Twitter lit up with horror. "They bugged us. We're all in it. This isn't just about her. This is about everyone." Reporters scrambled to verify the coordinates. Some led nowhere, but others impossibly matched the addresses of journalists who had covered Charlie Kirk's death. One matched the office of a well-known late-night host who had mocked Jaguar weeks earlier. Another matched an influencer who'd publicly defended the widow. The message was clear. They'd all been monitored. At noon, CNN cut its regular broadcast for an urgent cybersecurity report. The anchor's tone was unnervingly calm as she read the teleprompter. "We can confirm that an unverified file linked to Project Mercury contains what appear to be tracking data on multiple members of the press and private citizens." She hesitated, then added quietly, "Authorities are now investigating how deep this goes." That sentence detonated across every feed. If Project Mercury was real, Even partially, it meant Charlie Kirk's widow hadn't just covered up his death. She'd inherited a surveillance empire then, as if on cue. Jaguar Wright reappeared. At 1:11 p.m., her verified Telegram channel went live for the first time in days. The screen showed static, then her face bruised, exhausted but defiant. Behind her, a single motel lamp flickered. "I told you it wasn't about money," she said softly. He built Mercury to expose them. She turned it into a weapon. The chat exploded. Viewers were crying, shouting, praying, typing frantic messages. Jaguar kept talking, her voice shaking with equal parts fury and exhaustion. They used Mercury to blackmail people, to own them. Charlie found out and tried to shut it down. That's why he's gone. And that's why she's running. She reached into her bag and pulled out a flash drive. "This," she said, "is the last piece. The real Mercury file. They can wipe the internet, but they can't erase this." And then, just as she was about to play it, she stopped. Her eyes darted off screen. "Wait," she whispered. "How did you?" The screen flickered. A hand reached into frame. The camera dropped. Static filled the feed. The live went offline. For 2 agonizing minutes, viewers stared at nothing. Then her channel posted one final message. Not video, not text, but a single image. A silver flash drive lying on the ground beside a motel rug. Written on it in red marker, "For the people." Within minutes, the feed vanished again. Her entire account was deleted. News spread like a digital shockwave. Jaguar Wright kidnapped. Trended immediately. Some swore they saw shadows in the reflection before the feed cut. Others believed she staged it, that it was her final act to force the truth out. But then, just as panic reached its peak, an anonymous Dropbox link began circulating again. Its title, "For the People," no one knew who uploaded it. No one knew where it came from. But thousands clicked anyway. Inside were fragments, short, encrypted clips labeled Mercury_Sector A, Mercury_Sector B, and final_record.mp4. No one could open them. The files were password protected. But pinned at the bottom of the folder was one final message from Jaguar herself. "If you're reading this, I didn't make it." The password is the date Charlie died. Don't let them bury him again. And that's where the world froze, at the edge of truth and oblivion. Because now, millions of people are typing that date into the file, praying it works, hoping to see what Jaguar died for. The window's still loading. The file's still locked, and somewhere, out there, in the dark, someone's watching, waiting to see if the truth finally breaks free. Because if it does, everything burns. So now the world waits, hands trembling over keyboards, hearts racing behind screens, as millions try to crack that final file. The one Jaguar Wright risked everything to deliver. The one that could prove every rumor, every whisper, every horrifying claim about Charlie Kirk's widow and the machine behind her. The one that might finally show what really happened. And this is where you come in. Because the truth doesn't survive on its own. It survives when people demand it. When they refuse to be silenced. When they refuse to let the story fade into static. If you've made it this far, you already know what's at stake. This isn't about celebrity drama anymore. This is about power, fear, and the cost of keeping secrets. So here's your call. Don't look away. Share what you've learned. Talk about it. Question every official version that gets handed to you. If you find a clue, a frame, a voice clip, post it. Save it. Because the longer this story stays alive online, the harder it becomes for them to bury it again. Do you believe Jaguar's story? Do you think Charlie's widow orchestrated it all? Or is she just another pawn in something even bigger? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because every opinion adds pressure. And pressure is what cracks the lies. And whatever happens next, don't log off. Because when that password works, when final_record.mp4 finally opens, it won't just expose one secret. It'll rewrite everything. Stay awake, stay loud. And remember, if they can erase Jaguar Wright, they can erase anyone. But not if we keep watching, because the truth, the real truth, is coming. The real truth is coming.